Welcome back to Breaking Biomutant. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the last episode because there's only one more item that is like super uber awesome and we just need to gain a level to get it. So I'm just going to start following captives. Main reasons being, one, this can help me get a few, more dark in our aura. And most of the captives are at bandit camps, so that's skill points. Not to mention more experience because encounters. But it's been a few days since I picked this up, so let's see if I can shake off the rust. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So we just need to get one more
This one
level
seems to be in good spirits,
so we
despite
can get our
has
agility up
heard
to a
that
60.
asks you
Starting some dark
is
aura.
surprised you chose not to help.
Embrace the dark, and it will embrace.
Best to keep your.
Hey, it's not
You heard.
like that would be.
But if you're going for duality in your spellcasting, helpless souls are good for that. A few other items about. But once we get our agility up to the 60 we need, I'm going to be going into dual wielding pistols, which I think I already won food that. Nope, we still need the beetle stone. So there's another reason we're following the captives. We're nearby, yes. Because with following the captives like this, eventually we're going to find bandit camps. Bandit camps lead us to skill points, and hey! And skill points will help us with that Wong Fu. Now, bandit camps are actually kind of easy to spot on the map, depending. Just because, just look for anything that looks like a old-fashioned fort. Right now, I'm not entirely sure if this captive's part of that, because they will be in just random locations as well. Do I have the mission for bandit camps? Because I think that's why I was following the captives. Oh, there it is, bandit camps. So, do I have a... I do. Oh, I'm on a mount. I forgot you can't fast travel on a mount. I apologize if you hear random squeakings in the background. My dog had puppies recently and they have become very, very vocal. And are trying to escape their housing. Yes, Mama, I see that. Did one get out? No? Are you sure? Yep, there we're good. Okay. Yeah, 9 puppies. I have my hands full, hence why I'm a little rusty. I haven't picked this up in a day or two, or... Actually, I'm not even sure how long it's been. But good old Bionucleus 6D. Is this the one we're at? I think this is the first one that we tackled. Nope, this is 3F. Yeah, 6D is up here. But any of the nuclear or toxic zones are really good for grabbing more of the bio blobs to raise your resistances. Now, I seem to have found a decent suit of armor that's giving me full resistances. Now you have the ability to scrap these for some E-scrap, but it's only one. They're better off sold for some green stuff. Well, why not though? I just wasn't close enough. With the quickness. Thanks, bud. Alright. And now it's just a quick helicopter climb up the hill. I don't think we can actually climb. Nope. Gotta do some jumping around.
That's Fruggo's joint. Tread carefully.
A zip line out or into? Oh, alright. Let's take out Fruggo. Oh, wrong button. Now, when it comes to bandit camps like this, there's going to be a lieutenant, and then there's going to be the actual boss. So, just handle however, whatever. And if you can try and stay close to the entrance, you won't trigger the boss. But if you get close to the back here, you'll have the boss come out too. So, best if you can take out the lieutenant first, or else you have both of them to deal with. But with the setup that we've created, it's really not difficult at all. But this will be good scrap as well, because they usually do drop their weapons. My goodness. Loudmouth puppers. And there's usually some, you know, I think there's usually at least 1 to 2 mods for your guns. The disposable mods, and then there's some superb loot, but this is what we really are here for. We're also here for a captive. There he is. Now, personally, I don't like being a jerk, but
This one
it
seems
does
to be
open up more of the options
has heard that you
play
have a
around
sense
with.
of compassion. Asks you to do the right thing. Is surprised you chose not to help.
And not to mention,
That's
if you can get yourself duality enough and get 30 in both your dark and light, I'm not entirely 100%, but it would make sense that you'd be able to choose whatever clan you'd want, because some of them need you to be more dark or more light, depending. So, there's also a whole bunch of random other equipment we could scrounge up from there, but I'm just trying to fast track this bandit camp removal now. Get that level so we can get that agility to 60, because that should be all we need, is agility to a 60. I'm pretty sure our strength is where we need it for the two-handed swords, which is my personal preference, but you can always put it to whatever you need, whatever requirements, because, oof, sorry, because, this is just my preferred playstyle. With that infinite combo and whatnot, the sword seems to be the best you can get damage-wise. At least for an efficient cost stat-wise. I want to put everything I can into intelligence just because my damage is also my defense now. You know, you have the damage healing you, so the more damage you do, the more you get healed. So it's offensive, defense, total survivability, real tanky. Still not the most damage you can do. If you spec out and min-max for firearms, it's going to be the most damage you can do. But we're going to get that missile cloud working for us once we get the agility going, and then we have the mod we're using right now, which gives us explosive rounds. So we're gonna get AoE on a lot of our projectiles. So when you do run out of stuff and you want to keep it at a distance, you're going to have massive clip sizes from having both the guns. The reload is terrible, but we can use our Wong Fu points that we're getting to perk out some firearm skills. And then from there on out, there's nothing really that you can't handle, because it boils down to put up your spells, have them do their damage, and if it's still standing, throw out bullets until you get it all back. Super simple,
Rito and
really
his
broken.
bandits make camp here.
Honestly, I would
Take
love to have
care.
a setup like that in Remnant from the Ashes or something like that, which is probably going to be part of my next series. Can't really break that game because it is incredibly well balanced and randomized. Instead, we're gonna have the game break me. So let's go ahead and... Yep, there it is. Cause enough... I think if you cause enough of a ruckus as well. So since I just exploded all those barrels, it caught his attention. Either way, shouldn't be too hard to take him out. All the ads pretty well dealt with. There's the level we needed. Alright, so now got all that working for us. Go ahead and release this fellow.
This asks you to...
Because I'm a jerk.
Is surprised
I'm
you
just
chose
a
not to help.
teenage
Blinded by the
dirtbag
dark.
baby.
Now
Alright,
you
we're
can
done.
see how
That's not
hiding.
get
Yeah. Really don't like being dirty like that. Not my kind of style. I try to be a nice guy. I still am a jerk, but I try. If it's any consolation, I went light aura first. What? We're just giving ourselves options for spellcasting again. You know, any of the
What's
dark
here?
spells you want to use. Personally, me, this is just too good of a strategy. Something I've seen other players do early on with the mucus bubbles, get your oh, which skill was that? Let's level up. We need the agility to
You
60.
the prowler.
And now, what was I looking up? Side powers. The blaze ability. Yeah, so what you would do is, you can see how blaze lights the ground aflame and gives you a bit of a dodge. What you would do is pick as many of the adds up as you can in your mucus bubble, and then blaze back and forth along the ground. They would take mad fire damage and just super decease pretty quickly. Me, I don't like blaze. I don't use it. I literally spent on the skills I knew I was going to use, and that was it. Well, Mothmouth early on for a little bit of crowd control. But yeah, every other purchase is whatever you feel, honestly. As far as that's concerned. So now that I have the gun where I need, stat-wise, we're gonna go into our range, and I'm going to... Oop, nope. Dismantle. Now we're gonna create a new range. Regardless of you taking... You can see I have no guns made. There's always going to be a, backup pistol. You're always gonna have your starting spark metal. So, we want Missile Cloud as a base. I don't know what's good for a grip right now. Let's just... Compare and contrast. That's nice. Gives me more base damage, that gives me more overall. Take that one. Magazine type. Pretty much trying to go with rarity just to make things a bit simpler. That's armor piercing too. Yeah, so armor piercing as well is great. That's the one we just had. And again, I am going pretty much for damage. Minimum damage for me, just because I can't always count on a crit. At least that's one of the things I stand by. Unless your crit build is completely on point. And again, we're just throwing in what is the best of the best. If you can give yourself a good critical, go ahead. That upgrades the range. And again, don't count out any, small level piece, but that's the best we can get out of our missile cloud. Now, the missile cloud it's as good as it sounds. Every 4 shot also fires a small auto-tracking missile that explodes. So, we've got enough scrap for this. So, there's our first. And it's funky looking. I'm not a fan of the aspect of how it looks, but now let's create ourselves a second one. Specifically a gun. I know I wanted pew pew. Is that the best we're going base type? Because we can get more damage. Each bullet fired decreases rate of fire. Magazine empty. That's useful. Increases the damage by 10% every... That's nice if they're far away, which is a good idea, but again, that's terrible damage. But the radioactivity buildup is nice, and it's got good range. Every shot. And what you're really looking for here... I know burst fire is a good one too. What you're really looking for are... What do you mean are doubled? Bullets with special properties loaded in this weapon are doubled. What does that mean? Bullets with special properties. Oh, so if you were having to use the mod, I don't use the temporary mods, the disposables. That's what it means. But that doubles up your mods. That's nice. Yeah, you're really not looking for damage here. What? Spawns a set of cluster bombs on impact. So it's MIRV bullets. But that damage is just terrible. But yeah, special abilities are really where it's at when it comes to most of these. I'm just not sure what I want to do with it now. Momentum gives me more rate of fire, which would make... Oh, and that base damage is just so nice. But yeah, a better rate of fire on one gun is going to count for the other one's fire rate. So we increase the fire rate. Oh, silly me. That's why. It's like, why was that so much more damage? Because you were in the wrong category? But yeah, if we increase the fire rate on one, that should increase the fire rate on both. If I'm not mistaken. Hold on a second. So back to guns. This is what I was rocking. But now... Slowing momentum. I think that's the best I'm gonna get, damage-wise, too. Oh, nope. Blast powder's still better. So, blast powder is the best we're gonna get out of those. But, again, damage isn't everything. Right now, damage by 5 and spread by 2 degrees. What does that mean? to spread. Okay, so it's just gonna super recoil my everything. Burst fire is nice, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go blast powder. The momentum could be good. I'm not really losing out on too much damage. I lose out on fire rate and range though, but the fire rate's going to go up. Fire rate by 10%. Magazine's emptied. That's, yeah, because the faster I can shoot, the more the missiles will fly. But again, I was talking earlier about just making everything AoE and blast. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. Don't think the grips make too much of a difference here. Again, we're just looking for your minimum damage up. Magazine-wise, shouldn't add anything special. About the best we're gonna get there. Again, you could always, you know, have the clip be for critical chance or whatnot, but I just go for straight damage. That's gonna be good. And again, if it looks a little weird, oh well. Looks aren't everything. At least that's what my wife tells me. But yeah, I'm more of a functionality kind of person anyway, because that just looks janky as all get out. Does it not? So janky. Now that we've got both of those crafted for ourselves, we've got ourselves a nice blade as well. Hey look, more scraps. So now, I needed to do one more thing. We have to do the Wong Fu. So, ranged combat, dual wield, beetle stone. Alright, now, perks. General perk. Perfect reload is fantastic. Your ranged weapons are reloaded instantly, and your next magazine is granted damage. Again, if you're specializing in guns, that's the way to go, but it's a nice additive to have. If you follow my tactic, throw out the spells, then throw out the bullets till the spells come back, you're not going to be using that perfect reload damage. I'm not entirely sure how long that lasts for, because if you can store it, then that's just really nice. But there's another one I hadn't checked. Clip Tech gives you more before having to reload. And there's the reload time reduction, which is probably what I'm going to go with because it's a guarantee, and these things are going to take forever to reload. Range weapons attack speed increased. That's good. So yeah, now it's just a matter of grabbing the other techniques, the other perks to support those guns. But as you can see, I have my pew pew shooter on right now, and now I have the contagion, so let it reload. Now why is it not? There we go. There's the dual wield. So you can see that, and it's every 4th shot, so it can be from the other gun. That's why the momentum perk would have been good to put on the other gun too, because get that fire rate up. So if you wanted to specialize in just the homing, you can do that, but I'm going with why not throw as many explosions as possible, especially because of how we're going to use that for Wong Fu. So now I need to find enemies. Well, what am I doing? We're already logged onto a bandit camp. See if I can get fast traveled closer. Yes, I can. Go back to Jumble. So, I'm gonna make this the last video just because this character is broken. If you have followed my path, gone through all these, you know, quest lines as fast as possible, You have no problems in exploring areas because you have better mobility due to the trunk and the helicopter backpack. You have no qualms in breaking down any walls with the Clonk Fist or opening doors with the Claw Bar. Uh, what else have we done? We have a mount for uh, water areas. We have a mount for gliding because it's just so darn hard to find Mirage sometimes. Yeah, we've covered a whole lot of anything that you could really want. So, the reason I'm making this the last video is because now that we have a two-handed melee weapon that is epically good, and we shouldn't need any stat boost for that, unless you wanted to use something else for personal preference. All of our resistances are full on our armor, which has decent all-around stats for defense, regen on our energy and energy boosts, health buff. Yep. You can go anywhere and do anything at this point, and also not have to worry about combat, just because if you can't handle it with the magic, now we have these guns and a sword. So, I just want to demonstrate how broken the Wong Fu can get. If you go with the guns, which is my personal technique to go bullet time when it comes to Wong Fu. Because clonk fisting things into the ground takes a few hits, which is going to take up most of your bar, and you're going to get one, maybe two people off the battle. Doing the unarmed combo is nice, but it throws your target after you're done the combo, and to continue it just takes you out of the battle. The ground pound I always do by accident, so it's bullet time for me. So we're gonna come in, we're gonna land our bird swirl, land the ethereal horse. Hopefully I landed that because I went into the video. Did you just reset my entire Wong Fu? Nope, there it is. So now, when you go into the Wong Fu, you have AoE bullets on top of the homing bullets going off. It is just epically awesome. Really big clip size because they're both so huge. Yeah, really cheap. Especially when you get into that bullet time mode, because you're just throwing so much lead downfield, and it's bottomless clip at that point in time. Will reload your clips when you go into said mode and start firing. Yeah, super Wong Fu cheap. So now you have pretty much every option covered. And again, I am playing on the hardest difficulty. I have been playing on the hardest difficulty. Don't believe me? Then go back to my earlier videos. You can see exactly how much you can struggle there in the beginning, because I'm an experienced player. Pretty good. I'm not the best, but I'm good enough, and I still went down a bunch of times for a bunch of reasons. But from this point on, to strengthen your character out, it's pretty much bandit camps to get you the extra skill points so you can get all the perks you want to support your build even further. Because now you really shouldn't have to worry about gear at this point. If you want to upgrade the armor and mess around with it, because eventually you'll have enough bio blobs to have super resistances to all the elements, you know. But that just ends up becoming a personal preference thing, really. I want to call this character broken. Also, just because I want to move on to a new series. As much as I love this game, the replay value, personally, is 3 out of 5 stars, and I have other games with better replay value, in my personal opinion. It's a good game. The new game plus is fantastic as well. I just it does get a little repetitive once you've already achieved everything. You know how it goes. Been there, done that, have 2 t-shirts. But, truly broken character. Any way you want to handle the situation, your two-handed damage is good. Your gun's damage is fantastic, and, you know, super wacky with what it can do. And the spells are just fantastic as well. So, don't know if I have whatever that is over there. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that anyone who has followed me up to this point in making this build, I can't bring myself to kill a creature. I'll knock somebody out, but I don't know if that makes me a bad person or just an animal lover. Probably both. But yeah, anybody who's gotten to this point and followed my instructions, you can't not beat this game. I mean, the world leaders and whatnot have interesting combat aspects that most of this isn't going to help you with, but that's just the level of skill in those fights. If you're looking for the big bad boss at the end, with or your bully Lupin, there's nothing he can do. Put up the bubble. Most of his attacks are physical, so they won't get through the bubble, and then just load him up with rad wisps and electricity damage. I can't stress how much that.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
it's broken. I can, with confidence, say anybody can defeat the game, even on extreme difficulties. So, one last time, as far as armor, that's going to be random, but you can see how I have good health, key energy, and energy regen buffs. Critical chances are up. I have really good range critical chance, holy cow. But again, that's why I prefer to do the dual wielding, because you can get the benefits of both guns. So, super broken. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was useful. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.